Hi everyone, thanks for clicking onto my channel, Simply Outdoors with Shauna. Just gonna open a cold one and then I'll show you around my hot tent. So this one is a KP Ale. What company is it made from? Oh, the Ottawa Valley. So it's called K&P Ale 1883. It's an amber ale and Calabogie Brewing Company. So this is a new one I'm gonna try. Right. So yeah, I finally got my hot tent set up with my new wood stove that I'll link it to this video. My friend that made it, Kyle, I'll link how he made it and my review on it and everything about it, my first burn. So yeah, I'm just sitting out here in the backyard since I can't get out this weekend. We have the kids and I have some family things to do, so just in the backyard enjoying a cold one. Cheers. I also wanted to do a burn at home and make sure everything's working properly before I go out to the woods. So yeah, just sitting here relaxing by the fire. I'll show you everything. I'll show you all the upgrades and the things I did to make the tent a lot better. First off, I want to address a few things. I want to address that there was a lot of concerned people making comments on my video last year when I used this tent. Now this tent's just a dome tent, a normal summer, fall tent, and a lot of concern about, oh, I'm gonna burn it and it's gonna catch fire. You know, I've been camping for a very long time, all my life, little, young, living in the country. We used to make wood stoves in our sheds, everything. I've been around wood stoves, I've been around fires all my life, so I know how to run a wood stove safely and properly. I just wanted to put that out there. I don't put my hot tent stove up to high temperatures where it's going to start melting my tent. You also have your other things inside your hot tent. You have your sleeping bag that's not fireproof. You have your wool blanket that's not fireproof. You have things in your hot tent that are not fireproof and they don't catch fire. So I don't want everybody to be concerned that I'm going to burn up and I'm stupid to do this. Very safe when I go out with my equipment. Just wanted to make that clear. So on that note, I want to show you the hot tent and the changes that I made to make it better and more efficient for me. So let's get into it. First, let me put I want to put my little fuzzy socks on. These are my Canadian fuzzy socks. Don't need my boots on when I'm in my hot tent. It's super warm. Show you my little socks. Boop. There we go. All ready. First off, I'm going to show you these little chairs that I picked up. Now, they're not a chair. They're just, it's a, what do I call it? It is a nylon that you put your thermarest in. Now, I'll show you. Your thermarest fits all into these little pouches, and they have straps that adjust, and it makes your thermarest into a chair. So it's pretty awesome. I picked those up on Kijiji, 2 of them. One for myself, one for Tracy. So yeah, she's gonna come out and join me a little later in the hot tent and we're gonna have a drink together. So yeah, I picked those up for 30 bucks on Kijiji. Okay, first off, I'll show you the floor of the hot tent. Now, I cut it right down the middle. The floor liner, I cut it right in half because I love to have the snow in my hot tent because that makes you feel like you're winter camping. So I cut it right down the middle. This side has the plastic still because this is side my sleeping bag and my thermarest will go on. So that still has the side, but for where the stove's going to be, I cut the floor out. And then I just packed snow around the side there. So the wood stove sitting on 2 pieces of wood that I had in my garage and a cookie sheet. The reason for that is because the snow will start to melt, and I didn't want it to shift or melt a certain way that the stove would tip over. So it's very safe to put something under your wood stove, either it's wood that you cut out in the bush, something that will keep it even. Now these little sheets are inexpensive to get if you get a couple of those lasagna pans. And I like to put the lasagna pans in certain areas just because it really gets warm in here and the snow will start to melt. So if you have some of those around and dry your wood in certain places, it won't melt all the snow. So yeah, so there's the wood stove, burning nice. I'll open it up to show you. It's going really good. Some nice hot coals in there. And I ended up doing a couple of vent holes in the front just to get a little more airflow. The chimney is exhaust piping that goes up through to a fire resistant stove jack that I ordered off of Amazon. It was pretty good. It was only $20, and it was a nice square piece. It didn't have the hole cut. You cut it to the size that you need. So right now it comes with 4 safety pins to safety pin it to whatever hot tent you want to. So I actually safety pinned it because I might get a different hot tent later on, I'm not sure. So it seems to work perfect. And just in case the wind blew, I just put an extra little safety feature there, some tin foil folded up just in case the wind blew the tent wall a certain way. Now the tent wall is not even hot. It's like very, has a slight little temperature change to the wall, not hot at all from the wood stove. It's far enough away. I have it far enough away from any sides of the tent. Yeah, it's pretty nice. This wood stove is working amazing. The damper is fully open right now until I get a good bed of coals, and when I put a big log on for overnight, then I'll turn the damper down to halfway. But for now, I'm just enjoying a little bit of time out here. And then last year, these are all screens for like a summer tent, and then a little tarp kind of goes over top and secures to the outside. So there still was a space like that where the air could escape, like the heat could escape. So what I did was, I'll show you when I go outside, I cut the little tarp and I took adhesive glue and attached it so no hot air is going out the top of my tent. So I'll show you the outside. But first I actually want to show you this amazing gift that Tracy bought me. It's my tent fan. It has a light, 3 settings to the light, and 3 settings to the fan, because your heat rises. So when the fan's on, it pushes the air down. Really nice. My thermarest chair with my little lantern. Now that's a battery operated lantern. I love it. Flickers like a real lantern. All right, let's go outside and I'll show you the outside. All right, we're just outside of the tent now, so I'm just showing you the stove jack. So it's a nice little square stove jack, and it comes with the safety pins for them. You can pin it on in case you want to put it on a different hot tent instead of having it sewn right on. So my stove pipe is 4.5 feet, which is a good clearance to go over my tent if there's a wind and the smoke goes right over. So yeah, I'll show you. These were all screens. So I covered them with the little dome plastic that went over. Now, here's some light here, I'll show you. So yeah, I took some adhesive glue that works really well. It comes in a can. And this is where I had my stovepipe coming out before, and I had an extra piece with the logo of the tent, which fit perfect right over top of my old area that I have my stove, my chimney coming through. So yeah, so that's my little setup with my free dome tent that I turned into a hot tent. Now, this type of thing may not be for everyone, and some people may not feel it's safe, but I've used it for a few years now, and if you're not putting your wood stove to high temperatures and using it safely, it can work perfect for anyone. Smoke's coming out there nice. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming along with me today while I set up my hot tent in the backyard. So in a few weeks, I'm going to be doing an overnight with my wood stove and my hot tent. So yeah, I like my little do-it-yourself hot tent and my do-it-yourself wood stove. It works really good for me. Now, like I said, this may not work for everyone, and everybody may want to get the real hot tent and buy a real wood stove. Well, that's your decision. I like to invent and make things, so that's how I do it. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Cheers.